Hello.
Hello! Way over there. What are you doing way over there?
What are you doing way over there?
I can't hit you over there. Yes, I can.
Hello, everybody. My name is Barry Horvath, and this is Moving Forward TV, your local market update.
Such a wimp.
Did you see that shot he took out on me?
I did, and I am Delynn Gaston. Thank you for joining us today. And man, that was a heck. Well, he's Bob the Builder.
Yes, here's Bob the Builder, and we got Tim the Tool Man with no socks.
I know. What a show. So last week, we promised you we were doing a show about all of the things that go wrong when your appraiser goes out to the house and it's falling apart.
Yes.
And you have options. Don't be afraid of those kind of houses. And you as the realtor, don't be afraid to list those houses and don't be afraid to show those houses that need a little more than TLC.
Yeah, like a lot more than TLC.
Right.
Do we have a 203K rehab loan from a chiropractor available? Because I think I threw my neck out on that.
He's giving a whole new meaning to rehab.
I know. All right, so all seriousness,
But we are talking
do
about
have
rehab
guests,
loans.
and we probably shouldn't ignore
Yes.
them today. And we do have Bob the Builder
So
and
stop
Tim the
whining
Toolman.
about your arm.
My arm's fine. I'm tough.
Yeah, right.
Actually, we have Phil DeFonso and Andy Morrow. No, it's Andy Morrow, and they're both flew in just for this show, all the way from sunny and
Lovely.
warm Connecticut.
Yes.
So I think they just wanted to get here to get out of the cold weather. That's my gut
Andy
feeling.
needs a little sun, we've determined. Feels good.
Good.
Actually, they're from a nationwide lender called Norcom Mortgage,
Right.
and Phil is like the little guy, and then Andy's the big guy, right? Isn't that how it goes?
Something like that.
Something like that. No, but they're from Norcom Mortgage, and these guys are experts on doing the 203K rehab loans.
Norcom Mortgage does a lot of them actually up in Connecticut, and they've done one, and they have an infomercial running very soon on the whole thing, right?
Yep.
That'll be on Fox 13
So
coming
tell
up.
us a little bit about that. Let's start there. Tell us a little bit about what you got going on up there, Phil.
The infomercial was put together. We took a condo and followed the process of a 203K loan from beginning to end. You know, with the consultant coming through and reviewing the plans and what we wanted to do for the rehabilitation. And it's almost like an HGTV episode where you watch.
Oh, very cool.
You watch the process going through. You know, you get to see the beginning, the before shots of the condominium, and the after shots of the condominium. It was a pretty large renovation, so it's interesting to see how it started out using a 203K process. We talked to an appraiser explaining, you know, what the appraiser's portion of it, what the consultant's piece of it is, and, you know, then the contractor and designers, and, you know, walked you through the entire process.
Wait. My question first. You be quiet. I think we need to tell everybody what a 203K rehab is and why somebody would like to use it.
Yeah.
And give us some more information about that. What is a 203K
Well,
rehab?
and
Andy, feel free to tune in anytime. Hold the string. And then reach behind him.
An FHA, it's a federally insured mortgage product. It allows you to put down as little as 3.5%.
So it's an FHA program.
It's an FHA program.
Okay.
And it allows you to put down 3.5%, as little as 3.5%, for the acquisition of the property plus improvements to the property. So if you're buying a house or a condominium for $100,000 and you need to put in $100,000 of work to it, you can put down 3% of the total acquisition of $200,000.
Okay.
And what they will do is they'll disperse funds to you during the course of construction based off of the work that is completed. You see a lot of it for, you know, foreclosure, short sales. You see it for home improvements that people want to do, or cosmetic improvements if you're looking at a listing that might seem a little dated, but yet you don't have the money to go in and buy that house and do the rehabs they will incorporate that into the
Okay,
the loan.
so if I have this straight, Dylan, we'll get to you in a minute. So if
You
I
tell
have
I'm
this
just
straight,
itching,
we
huh?
bought a house for $100,000.
Yes.
We put 3.5% down, but we're doing improvements of another $100,000. So you're saying we could make this a $200,000 house
Correct.
and essentially get into it for $7,000,
Right.
plus closing costs, et cetera.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow,
And
that's
you know,
a
it's
sweet
like,
deal.
and it's, you know, I always say, like, we refer to it as the Norcom Dream Loan because you get to go into a property and dream what it could become, not just what the house is now. And I think that's important because even if you don't use the product, just keeping that in the back of your mind when you're going out shopping for a home, or if you're an agent that has a property that you have that's listing, that you want to list, it's like, what could the property become, not just what it is right now.
Right, right. And that's important, I think, to bring up that it's not just for fixing,
Correct.
you know, what's broken, but dreaming about what,
Right.
you know, some of the things that were done. Or,
You know, it's FHA will, if it's a large enough project, will require the use of an FHA-approved consultant.
okay,
They will want you to do a work write-up prior to even, you know, going to contract or to having the property appraised, because they're going to appraise it in an as-is condition, and they're going to appraise it upon completion of whatever work you're going to be doing. So that's part of how the process works. You know, having the consultant is a great thing because it allows the borrower to have a little bit more confidence that what they're getting themselves into, you know, they're getting the true accurate price of, or as close as you can get it to the accurate price of what the construction is really going to be. It's not just,
not
you're
just-
just depending on the
right,
contractor.
right. You know, I've always said with FHA, one of the things, and I always tell my buyers this, with FHA, they've got your back.
Yeah.
You know, they really do. They make sure you're not going to overpay for something. That's why, you know, a lot of
Correct.
realtors think, oh, well, they're so hard on appraisals. Not really. They just want to make sure that somebody is not overpaying for something. And on the 203K, the same thing. That consultant is going to make sure that your
Exactly.
construction is not being, you know.
And they're not going to disperse those funds to you or a contractor until the work is complete. Therefore, another protection, like you're saying, to make sure that the contractor is not getting money for work that hasn't been completed.
or shoddy work.
Or for shoddy work.
That consultant is making sure,
Sure.
and they're inspecting it and making sure everything is done
And
correctly.
there's a negotiation process between the consultant, the contractor, and the borrower. First, the consultant wants work that is either environmental or health and safety. Those things
Okay.
need to be completed first. You know, an example of that is you may have an issue with, you know, drywall, for example, we talked about, or you may have
we have that down here.
you may have an issue with a health and safety issue of an egress, or the deck stairs are rotted. You know, there's a million of things
Right,
that those things would absolutely need to be included and would need to be done as part of the process. Then it's like a free for all. Do you want a new bathroom? Do you want a new kitchen? Do you want, you know, to paint the house? You can get in as little as $5,000 of work. And you know, just put new appliances in the house.
And there's different ways we can fund that. There's different programs on it.
Exactly.
You know, and we're going to get into more detail. But first, we're going to watch Casey do a little bit of Chat and Dish, and I think she's got some special lamb for us this week. And I'm just getting hungry, and I can't wait to see it now. We'll be back with the president of Norcom Mortgage and his marketing guy, Andy Morrow, tomorrow. I'm just kidding, Andy. But we'll be right back right after Casey.
I'm Casey Quaretti. This is Chat and Dish, and today I'm going to be making lamb chops. Ooh, the perfect celebration dish. We have to make a marinade for our lamb chops, so let's start off with a half a cup of balsamic vinegar, a quarter cup of extra virgin olive oil, 4 cloves of garlic, a tablespoon of orange zest, 2 tablespoons of orange juice, a tablespoon of fresh thyme leaves, a handful of fresh rosemary, that's going to be about 6 tablespoons, and about a half a teaspoon of fresh parsley, and about a tablespoon of fresh ground black pepper. I'm just going to pulse blend this until everything is finely minced up. All right, we've got our marinade. I'm going to pour a little bit in a cup just to set aside so that we can use that as a baste when we put them on the grill. The rest of it is going right on top of my lamb chops. All we have to do is cover these, let them marinate in the fridge for 3 to 4 hours, and we're ready for the grill. The grill is preheated to medium-high, and on go our lamb chops. So I'm just going to add a little bit of more of the marinade on top. I want to keep these nice and moist. I'm going to turn them over. Ooh, nice little bit of brown happening there. And I'm going to give them another coating of our grill sauce, our marinade. This is the marinade that we set aside. Oh, fantastic. They smell great. Oh, these are looking good. Let me check the other side. Perfect. Oh, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? One on the plate. They're so heart-shaped. I love this. Oh, how fabulous. Gorgeous lamb chops ready for the table. If you need to do them under the broiler in your oven, just make sure they're about 3 inches away from the heat source. Until next time, I'm gonna miss you. Ciao.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We're back with Phil DeFranzo and Andy Morrow from Norcom Mortgage. Wow.
Thank you.
Andy, let me let you know.
Good job.
I heard she's a black belt.
You heard correctly, but it didn't ever scare me. So anyway, we're talking about the 203K rehab this week and the benefits of it and what we can do. But let's talk about when you want to use it, how you
Right.
want to use it, because there's different layers. And check with your lender, because every lender has different programs available. But
Right.
check with your lender to see what. But I know one of the things that Norcom offers is the escrow holdback.
Yeah.
And tell us about the escrow holdback. How does that work, and how is that?
If it's a minor repair in an FHA loan, up to $5,000, we generally like it to be weather related. But if it makes sense, that
Weather like snow?
weather like I guess like snow,
Too much sun.
too much sun.
Oh, because in Florida we have a huge need for that program.
But I mean, if it's under $5,000, we'll allow, and it's a minor repair. Sometimes you'll see it for like chipping paint.
Okay.
Just appliances.
Appliances, something under $5,000 will allow a holdback.
So-
The work has to be completed pretty quickly.
On that program, if I can ask a question, can I get that new refrigerator for $2,000 that I want? Or does it have to be a mandatory repair kind of a thing?
Generally, we've seen it be mandatory repairs. So
So I can't get that fridge.
can't get
but
the
I
fridge.
can get appliances.
You can get appliances if you go. The next step is to go to a streamline refinance, a streamline 203K.
What is the streamline to?
Which is a loan amount under $35,000. There's no major health and safety issues or no environmental issues,
and no structural,
no
no
structural
Chinese
issues,
drywall.
and
no polybutylene,
Right.
No
aluminum
sinkhole.
wiring.
no wire.
Do you know what a sinkhole is?
Yes, we do. We do.
They're learning.
They're learning, but it's under 30. It's under 35,000. So from 5 to 35,000. So you'll see people generally if it's like, a roof repair that needs to be completed, or there's one major item, the air conditioning system not working, or generally one item, 2 items, something that can be it's making it hard for the borrower to purchase that property because the item's outstanding there. The appraiser is making comment of it, and you could finance it into your loan amount from 5 to 35,000.
And it could alleviate a borrower from becoming financially duressed trying to make this
Exactly.
happen after they close.
Exactly.
Especially on our FHA borrowers, most of the time in that price range of the homes that are in need of repair or whatever, that is your FHA buyer. They're
Yeah.
trying to get in. They're kind of rubbing nickels together just to get in the door. So this is a perfect.
That's a really, really good point. There's
Rubbing
a
nickels together.
there's some lending institutions that believe that every FHA loan should be a 203K, with the concept that a lot of people get into the house and want to buy new appliances or want to do some minor cosmetic repair. You might as well finance it instead of putting it on your credit card or putting yourself into a tougher position. 203K loans perform very well. And I think a lot of it is to your point of people aren't overextending themselves after closing. They're incorporating that work into their monthly payment and only raising their monthly payment a little bit instead of having to pay all that money out of
Exactly.
pocket.
If you go to Home Depot and you put, 10 grand on your Home Depot card,
Exactly.
your payment is going to be outrageous. Whereas if you take
Well, they got
that,
it for 6 months free with no payments, and then the 6 months is up and
wham! I know.
It's a
You know what?
bad
I never
thing.
thought about that. That's an excellent
Yeah.
point. That's
Right.
that's
Which
a
is
very
also
good
to your other point is that you could actually do a 203K not just for purchase loans. So you can do a 203K for a refinance also. So if you have somebody that they get into the house and then suddenly they say, you know what, I don't like the way this kitchen is, or I really need to do some extra work, you can do a 203K loan.
But we would do the
As a
full
refinance.
rehab possibly.
Correct.
All right, so we have the escrow holdback up to $5 grand.
Yep.
We have the streamline,
Yep.
which is up to $35,000, and then over $35,000 we have the full blown
203K.
203K.
Yep.
Okay, so what can we do with that? And
203K, a full 203K, you can do pretty much anything you want to
can
the
I build
property.
I want to add a pool.
You can't do luxury items, but you could repair things.
You should be in politics. Did you see how we pointed that question?
I know. He's
I
very
think you
good
should-
at
Have you
that.
ever considered running for office?
You can't. So if your pool is broken, you can fix it, but you can't actually add a new pool.
But I could put brick pavers and redo that.
Correct.
I could put a screen enclosure on
And I was
it.
just going to say, so when you say luxury items, it's a pool, but
Hot tub, pool,
okay.
things like that.
But you can put in granite countertops,
Absolutely.
things like that.
That's not considered. You could.
That's not considered
you can,
luxury.
You can
Good.
change your.
No, go.
You can change your.
Tell your husband you need them
kitchen.
because they're not luxurious.
You could change your kitchen. You could add a room. You could dormer out the back of the house. Whatever finish off the basement. Whatever work that you need to be done. The only caveat to that is that the property has to have had a certificate of occupancy prior to. So we've seen people who have actually, almost torn it down to the studs and reconstructed or rebuilt.
Okay, which
So it has to have a so those
excuse me.
houses that are hang on, good point. Those houses that a builder walked away from,
Yes.
which we do have some of those, cannot be finished.
It has to have had a previous certificate of occupancy.
Interesting. I didn't know that. All right, that's cool.
can I
Yep.
ask my question? now?
Yes.
Thank you. Jeez. All right.
See what
What-
I have to put up with?
I know it's tough.
See?
It's tough. It's tough. You got to live with her. You gotta, she's a great work wife, and we'll leave her at work. Anyway, but that's not important now. What about a legal room addition? Like people went in and they added a room addition.
Yeah.
They converted the garage into
converted
a bedroom
garage into a
without pulling
bedroom.
permits.
They didn't pull permits.
Like we don't have that come up all the time.
Yeah. Well,
You could do that as long as the property would have to be made to code, brought up to code.
Okay.
So, and the consultant would be able to, work with you and the contractor to make sure that that's done. But yeah, you could, as long as the existing structure has a certificate of occupancy and is a previous, not for new construction, then you're fine. You'd be able
So
to.
we
do that.
could get it back up to
All
code.
right, so we have somebody who
it.
has an illegal kitchen or whatever that they put in a little in-law suite
Yeah.
that they never pulled permits on it or anything. They took their garage and they could, because we have this happen a lot down here in Florida, and they converted it into an in-law suite or something, but no permits were pulled. So we can go in that and actually do a 203K, and it's okay that it's illegal right now because they're going to bring it up to code.
Exactly, because
Because we've actually had them take the whole kitchen out. You've got to take everything out. That's what we've had them do in the past.
As long as it's up to code and legal upon completion, then yes, you can do it. Obviously, you can't have a property that is not to code or not legal presently, and you want to rehab it in some way. I mean, it has to upon completion. If what you're doing is to bringing it to code,
Yes.
and bringing it to zoning requirements, or
Yes.
so absolutely you could do that.
Man, we just
Wonderful.
opened up to a whole new pool of people.
This is fantastic news.
Yes.
It's
Wow.
phenomenal.
It is. It's phenomenal.
All right,
oh.
so wait a minute, just so you guys
If for
know.
nothing else, this was the best
Think
part.
about the prospects available for this. Now,
I know.
poor Andy over here, he's just being eye candy. on
No, he
camera.
said it better than I can.
Eye candy.
You know, Andy is an expert in marketing and social media and handles all the marketing tools for Norcom up in
Correct, yep.
Connecticut. So from a marketing standpoint, where do you see this fitting in and how can it appeal to real estate agents and what do you think, Andy?
It allows realtors to put a really positive spin on a home that needs a little bit of work. We've had realtors bring in HUD consultants and do a pre-analysis of the homes beforehand, so the buyer knows what they're getting into, and it just kind of allows them to market it in a way that they wouldn't have been able to otherwise.
Oh, that's a great idea. Ahead of time,
Yep.
the listing agent can have the you're saying can have the FHA consultant come in
Correct,
and
yes.
kind of tell them this is what's going to need to be done.
Absolutely.
Correct. Yeah.
They can probably also have a designer come in if they wanted
Yeah.
to, you know.
So here's a great idea then.
That's
You're,
excellent,
You're a
Andy.
listing agent. You know you're going on an appointment in a so-so house. You say, hey, you know what? I know you don't have the money to fix this up or you don't want to at this time, but did you know about
Market
this
it.
program? And I can sell this to a whole different pool of buyers saying we could rehab this loan and make it your own.
Absolutely.
So maybe that agent gets the listing that they normally would not get.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Poof, what a
Yeah.
great idea. I think I'm running for office now.
I'll vote for you.
I'm an idea man.
You're just brilliant.
I'm just brilliant. I love it. I love it. I
Vote
love
for
it.
Barry.
I think it's also the consultant, when you take it that next step, when you go to contract and you're looking at the property, and even if you haven't previewed it the way that Andy's talking about, the consultant's a really good protection for you as a borrower, because you go into a property and you think that, like everybody, you think you can do the kitchen and the bathroom for $5,000, and
Yes,
the
they
consultant
do.
can put a realistic number on it.
Sure.
And we've had people who have looked at properties that have said, I'm going to buy this and rehab it, and then suddenly they go in there with the consultant, and what they want to do is going to cost 5 times more than what they think it is.
That's
Which
the real world.
brings up a good point. So let me just fire a couple of quick questions off. First of all, is there a limit of to how much money you can borrow on the 203K loan?
The limit is the FHA county limit. So I
Okay.
believe it's like, what, 271?
271,050 in this
050.
area.
50.
Yep.
So,
Pinellas, Hillsborough, and Pasco counties.
Yep.
so it's 271. So that would be purchase of the property plus construction. So if you have $50,000 of construction, you would need to subtract that from the 271, and the purchase price couldn't be over 221. So it's
Okay.
purchase plus construction.
All right,
Okay.
so we have a special, we're going to get back to that right after this, but we're going to talk about their infomercial coming up.
I know,
so that we
and
can
with some
show how
clips
this
of
is
their
going to
show.
this is going to be good. We'll be right back.
Everyone's story is different, so why be limited to just one or two options? With Norcom's Norflex Home Loan, you're given the flexibility to tell your story. Pick your terms from 8 to 30 years, all while maintaining a low, fixed mortgage rate. You can pay off your loan more quickly or choose a term based on your budget and timeline. Whatever you do with the Norflex Home Loan, make it part of your financial plan. Norflex, short-term, long-term, your terms. Apply online at norcommortgage.com.
All right, everybody, we're back. Welcome back to the show, and we have our special guest from Norcom Mortgage, all the way from sunny Connecticut. We have Phil and Andy.
Poof!
Wait a minute. Hold on just a minute.
He got
Woo,
tan.
woo, woo.
He
I
got
think we need
tan.
to
He
cut.
darkened his hair.
Is that a rehab version of Andy?
Shaved.
New and improved.
New and
improved, Andy.
Are you wearing socks too?
I think I am, yes.
And wait, what's this? Did you shave too?
Ta-da.
Yeah, sorry,
This
Andy.
is not
This
Andy.
is Rob. I know. It's amazing what we can do in media. We can just transform people. It's much like the 203K rehab.
Exactly.
So were you the full version or were you the streamlined version? That's what our viewers really want to know. Or you were just an escrow holdback.
It's full.
You're the full. Wow, poor Andy.
Big changes.
35 grand, Andy. We got a value on you. Okay, so let's get back to really what's talking about. So you're in the marketing department
Yes.
with Norcom Mortgage out of
Correct.
Connecticut. And I know you guys are doing this infomercial that
Yes.
was done. And tell us a little bit about that.
So the infomercial, it's educational and entertainment. So
Kind of like us.
Exactly, kind of like you guys. It gives you a nice
That
visual.
entertainment part is kind of questionable sometimes.
It gives you a nice visual of before and after pictures. It walks you through the process of the 203K loan.
Okay.
So it's a benefit for people to watch and learn about the 203K.
I would
Dream Home
imagine
Loan.
people, taking on a project, and I know that a lot of realtors down here, they're afraid. They're afraid. They've got full-time jobs. I don't have time for a home improvement
Right.
project. I know the DIY shows on Saturday that we all love
Get
to
them all
watch.
done in a half an hour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But that's not life, and that's
Yeah.
not reality. And people say, you know what, I can't devote that kind of time. So this is probably maybe something to calm their nerves.
Exactly. I mean, you could get a new fireplace, you could do new cabinets, appliances. The possibilities are kind of endless. So it really is to the borrower.
Yeah. Let's take a look at some of these clips that we have from their infomercial, and it is going to be run, so that you know, Phil, on Fox 13.
Yep.
This on Saturday.
Yep.
But it's also going to be on WeBeam TV, Delyn.
It is on WeBeam TV. It will be on WeBeam TV at 9:30, I think. It's not at 9:30 this Saturday, March. Somebody help.
19th.
Yeah, 19. Thank you, Rob.
Good old
He
Rob.
also knows
Andy would have known that too.
the old
Just, yeah, the old,
unrehabbed.
that's it,
Unrehabbed
that's it. I think Andy went to get some socks. He'll be back. Don't worry.
Let's take
The ideal property for a 203K rehab is a property that needs a little work. Something that probably affects its ability to get financing or deters potential buyers because it looks like it's an outdated property or it needs a lot of work. Is that it allows a realtor to be able to go in and put a positive spin on a house that may need some work. Instead of saying, well, you got to fix this, you got to fix that, you got to do this, or hope for the cash buyer that will be able to have the funds to come in and fix it themselves. You can go in and talk to that seller and say, there's a lot of great products out there, and put that positive spin on it that this can be great. People can come in. This is a perfect house for the 203K loan. The FHA buyer, the first-time buyer, they can get into this house and fix it up, and that's how we want to market it. I think that would make a seller feel good about their options when it comes to selling their house and who's going to buy the house that needs a little bit of love.
All right, Phil. So that was an interesting clip right there.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that and why did we put that in the infomercial? What is she talking about?
I think what, to Delyn's point, is people are intimidated by the amount of work that needs to be done, or they look at a property and think, look at what I have to do, or people are scared about, when they see something that
I know.
they
And
see
it's hard to see a vision.
They see a home improvement project, and it's hard to see a vision. And part of what we were trying to
Hard
do.
to get past the smell sometimes when you walk into
Oh my
some
God.
of these
Exactly,
houses.
yeah. And I think, to Rob's point, it's to take a project from beginning to end, to show people what you can accomplish with the 203K, and that infomercial, did that.
And some of the realtors, not to be,
Right.
turned off by a property when you're going for a listing or whatever, or just
Look
put
beyond.
on the MLS cash only.
Right. Look at what
Doesn't have to
it
be
could
cash
become.
only.
Right.
No,
Look
we
at what
can-
it could become, and not just
Yeah.
what it is right
You know
now.
what's so funny? I think listing agents probably need to go back, look at their inventory and say, this is
Anything that
really
says
not.
cash only.
How many people ignore a listing because it says cash only?
Absolutely.
Where it could be a 203K rehab.
Or conventional only.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
they're
They
afraid
don't
that
know
FHA is going to
that
be
this-
too strict.
Yeah,
Right.
they
Because
don't know
the
that.
property has some issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have another clip here we're going to show for the infomercial here. Let's take a look at that now.
We were able to accomplish a number of things in this room. For starters, the ceiling in this room originally was very low. We were able to raise the ceiling and put in recessed lighting to allow for more height within the room. And while raising the ceiling, we uncovered this beautiful beam, which we were able to refinish, and has become a beautiful focal point in the room. And we were also able to pull up the floors and put new hardwood floors down with a beautiful stain.
And one of the other major components of the design project was that we were able to move a very small efficiency kitchen situated here to a different part of the home and able to create a bathroom and therefore make an incredible ensuite bedroom. In this master suite, we basically redid the whole fireplace with brand new marble tile to coordinate with the main living space. And we really wanted to preserve the vintage quality to the tin ceiling, so we gave it a fresh coat of paint. And we also needed to add a heating source in this bedroom, which was missing prior. So we created box housing units for the heat.
All right, Phil, so you're going to tell us about this piece and why was this part of
I
the
love those
infomercial?
before and after.
Yeah,
I know.
they're
I
great.
mean,
And
this is a woman's dream, right?
This is. Yes, this was
Yeah.
not. Yes, this is my favorite part of all those shows.
Yeah.
Oh, look.
Of
Of course it is.
You know what? I think we wanted to illustrate that it didn't. I mean, first you have to do the health and safety issues. You have to do anything structural, anything environmental. But beyond that, what Rob said, it's like, it's kind of like if you can dream it, you can do it. And, so we wanted to show people
That's a good
that.
marketing guy.
Yeah, there you go. See?
You can dream it.
It's cosmetic things that were improved. They raised the ceiling.
I know, that's
They
beautiful.
relocated the kitchen. They exposed brick. They painted the tin ceiling. Like they did a lot of things to not only just bring it up to code from environmental and health safety issues. They made the house, really livable. So.
Beautiful.
So that's all you got to say?
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
I love all that. And well, what I liked is that they also redid like even the fireplace and everything. They added a heating. They're up in Connecticut.
Yeah, I
Yes,
know.
exactly.
Although we do have to, even down here, have the heating in, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the house. But also, as far as these people here, the design team,
yeah.
all of that can be worked into your loan as well, right?
Absolutely.
To have your
Except-
architect, if you're getting stuff like that done, your design
So
team.
that can be part of the costs?
All of it can be part of the cost except personal property. So like any, furniture and things like that can't be
Right.
included,
But
obviously.
appliances
But
can be.
appliance can be.
So, Delynn, you can get that dream refrigerator you really want. Yes! That's all she wants. She wants one
wants
with
a
the
dream
double
refrigerator.
doors.
Yeah, you can do any of that. It's, and I think the beauty of the infomercials or the clips is just to show you like, wow, look at what somebody took what a before was and using the structure of a 203K loan and look at what you can accomplish with that. And it's like, we always say, put your dream glasses on and look at the condo or look at the house as as it could be, what it could look like in the end. So
Sorry, I couldn't help it, Andy. Poor Andy is just the brunt of all. He's not
Bad.
even on camera. He can't even defend himself. All right. So
Let's see more of the show.
The kitchen. We were able to move the kitchen from the bedroom to the center of the home, so it would be much more functional for all people that were living in this home. We were able to add updated cabinetry, brand new cabinetry, upgraded appliances, and this beautiful granite countertop.
One of the benefits for moving the kitchen to the central location is that we were able to take out a wall, removing a double entry to the unit, which didn't make any sense. And then we also removed the wall leading to the peninsula to open up this space from the kitchen to the living area, really creating a dining, entertaining unit together.
all right. So tell us about that segment.
That was a
of it.
lot of
Yeah.
rehab.
they
and-
did. I mean, it's, I guess, once again, trying to illustrate that you can do things, large renovations. They
Move a
actually,
whole wall.
They moved walls. They relocated a kitchen to a different, more
Part of the house. That's
part of the house to
incredible.
make it more
it-
functional.
They converted a bedroom
Yeah,
into the kitchen.
yeah.
Wow.
Who does that?
Yeah, exactly. But it was like
That's cool.
It's to show like you can do more than just paint and cosmetic things. It's like you can do structural changes on a full 203K.
But now, and one of the things that we were talking about before earlier, Phil, that I think is phenomenal about this loan. Now, obviously, in a project like this is an enormous construction in this condo that you did, moving walls and kitchens and everything. So the people, once they close, they can't live in that house yet.
Correct.
It's not livable. In the program, in the 203K program, you can actually finance in up to 6 months, I
Right.
think it is, of your mortgage payments.
Yes.
Correct
So
me
they
if
don't
I'm
have
wrong.
to make that payment.
You don't have to make that payment.
How awesome is that?
That's better than a Home Depot card.
awesome is that?
The consultant would, depending upon the work, could put in their work write-up up to 6 months of payments not having to be made. Keep in mind that actually has to go in the total loan amount. So if it's $271,050, you
got that memorized.
Right.
I think you're going to do one in Florida.
You have to do it under that total loan amount. All the things have to be under the total loan amount. But absolutely, we see that quite often when people will finance support.
And I don't
so they don't
think
have to
the-
rent.
Yeah, they're not strapped. They're not,
Correct.
twice as strapped, trying to, deal with all of that and make
So-
2 payments and
Correct.
everything. That's fantastic because
So before we go to the last segment, do we want to talk about the numbers of what you put into this, what you bought it for?
I was just gonna say,
and
yeah.
what is the
It
value
was-
of it in today's world?
It was really, that's a really good point. It was a very distressed property at the time. So it was a bank foreclosure that was, as you can tell by the infomercial, needed a lot of work. It was, I think we bought it for in the $30,000 range.
It's public record.
And it was, I think they put about $60,000 to $70,000 into it. And probably right around now, it's $120,000 value.
Wow. So
there's
instant equity.
There is.
Wow,
I mean,
that is
It
fantastic.
did take a lot of time to, one of the things I say is that if you think it's going to take you 2 months to build a house, add a month in there, or renovate your house, add a month in. It took a little extra time than we thought. You do have surprises during the course of construction. They talk about that. They talk about that in the infomercial, which I think
So
is really
this was going to be a $30,000 job, wasn't it?
exactly.
And then you brought Delin in. And
exactly. Then she was like granite counters. But I think
a
that
refrigerator for $2,000.
I think that they talk about, I think was really helpful in the infomercial is like when they went through the thing, they found out there was some rotted wood around the window casements that extended the contract time, which wasn't, the realtor didn't pick it up, we didn't pick it up, the home inspector, the 203K consultant, until they had to do a renovation, they opened something up. There's also
Opened a can of worms.
but there's also another nice part about that. To that point, is there's a contingency reserve that is part of your loan amount. So, if, for example, in that instance where they found some rotted wood, they have a 15% contingency reserve. So, if they had $50,000 in an escrow account, $7,500 in excess would be a contingency reserve to cover.
He's a numbers guy.
So that's automatically worked into it. So if your contractor
Just for
comes
those
in and says,
reasons.
okay, the rehab of this is going to be $50,000.
Correct. They're going to add 15% on top of that, so they may add. So your total loan amount would be $5,700 and $57,500.
And what happens if they don't use that?
Great question. If they don't
Aren't
use
you glad
it,
I'm here?
That's it. If you don't use the full loan amount, or if you don't use up your
You
contingency
don't
reserve,
need it. You
don't
didn't
need
have
it.
that can of worms.
Right. Or something came in less than you expected, then whatever the remaining portion of that loan amount would be, the principal would be reduced. So they would take the $7,500 or the $10,000, it would be reduced.
Oh, there you go.
So-
on the principal of your loan, so your loan
from
pays
a
off faster.
From a lending standpoint, does the borrower need to qualify for the higher amount on the contingency?
Absolutely. They have to qualify for the entire loan amount, including the contingency reserve. So yes, they would have to. So,
Okay.
but we've seen probably 50% of the time people tap into the contingency reserve. And it's a really helpful thing to have. And the contingency is not only just there for emergencies. You're going through the process and you're like, you know what, I'm doing my kitchen over, but I was
That
gonna
$2,000 refrigerator.
Right. You're gonna keep. You decided that you're not gonna keep the appliances. You're gonna get that $2,000 refrigerator, and so it's.
I love those double doors on the top and the freezers on the bottom. I really want one of those.
That's funny. So,
Poor Andy, he just wanted a pair of socks. Jeez. All right, so we got one more clip to watch, so check it out right now.
The Norcom Dream Loan certainly allows you to do very big projects, but they do allow you to do projects as little as $5,000. If you were going into a project and had to do a renovation with as little as $5,000, what would be some of the things you would recommend someone do that would give you the most bang for your buck?
Well, with that kind of rehab loan, you could do a new roof, you could do some larger items, but as a homeowner who's just spent a lot of money on a new home, you wouldn't want to pay out of pocket for those things. So it could be appliances, light fixtures, some updating elements that maybe the homeowner couldn't do a DIY and do yourself. So you really could build that into the loan and create the icing on the cake or the most bang for your buck.
All right, we're back with.
What a project.
That's just-
What a great show that's going to be.
It's gonna be great.
I'm
Hope
excited
people
to
turn
watch
in.
it too.
I can't wait to see it. You know what? This is really opens up just a whole new pool
I
of
know.
buyers, sellers,
And I learned some things that I
options.
did not know. I did not know about some of those things, and that's a great program, great product. I can't wait. I'm excited. I think that, like you said, you have some people up in Connecticut who are just going for marketing to realtors who have handyman special, fixer-upper, and all of that.
Tender loving care, yeah.
TLCs.
DLC.
Tender loving care.
DIYs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great thing. I think we just opened up some possibilities for some of our listing agents out there.
I think it's going to be a great program. And you know what? People need to know about it. We need to educate people that this option is available. So you guys, by spreading the word, get this out. It makes you an expert on things other people don't know about. I mean, knowledge is always king, I always say, right?
That's right. That's
You know?
right.
But you know what? This has been a great show.
It has.
Phil, Rob,
Thank you guys so much for being with us.
Andy,
Andy!
thanks for coming. Anyway, so Andy's apparently never found a pair of socks, so he won't be coming back on to this show, but that's okay. He did a great job too, and you guys did a great job. You did a lot of great
Thanks for having us.
information, and we appreciate it. Get us out on social media, share us on Facebook.
Like us.
Yeah, well, like her, don't like me.
Click the like button.
Yeah, just click it. Now they have the like button, and what is it called? You love it?
I love those new little ones.
I know. So love us, okay?
That's
so
right,
love us.
instead of it.
Share us. Get us out on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. We're all over. You know, tell your friends about us. Get us out there. And next week we got some more great stuff. And I know Casey's going to be back with another dish.
That's right. Thank you, Casey, for all of your food as well. All right. So thanks for watching. We are today and every day
Moving forward.
We'll see everybody next week. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Good job, guys.